It's the beginning of the video, so I need to be very careful with how I tiptoe through the tulips not to upset the YouTube gods with what I have to say about a situation that's very frustrating to me. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Those of you who have been coming to the channel for a while would probably know that I'm not a big fan of censorship, and I don't like when big evil corporations determine what people are allowed to say and do based off of what they decide, because apparently they're the arbiter of truth and everyone else can go not be a good person. I don't know. This is what's frustrating about all of it, is censorship is stopping the truth, the reality. It's warped the perception and the mindset of humanity, and we've gotten to this point where the reality and truth is not even existing anymore, because we need to look over at these people in make-believe land and say, yes, that is your truth, and we need to accept your truth, because otherwise we're going to be canceled by society. Yikes. Nickmercs has been banned for saying a mean word. And yes, while it is against their terms of service, my major frustration with all of this is how it's not evenly distributed against other creators. If someone's big and popular and it gets caught, they get banned immediately for saying a bad word. But this bad word that they said empowers people to go down a road and enable them to have some serious mental health issues. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for the full article breaking down how Nickmercs has been banned. Now, the last time I talked about Nickmercs on this channel was way back about a year ago when he was getting his Call of Duty skins removed from the game because Activision didn't like his take on leave the kids alone. Like that was somehow controversial. And now he's getting banned because he said the word tranny. I don't know if I'm even allowed to say that word, because it's taken on a meaning of its own where it's become so evil, so abhorrent to say, so offensive that people are losing their livelihoods because they dare try to call it like they see it. Nickmercs on Twitter said, banned for using the word tranny on Twitch. Apparently, that's a derogatory term. That's on me. Next time, I'll use mental health disorder. And obviously, very sarcastic, tongue-in-cheek, but not wrong. I agree. This is exactly what it is. And by banning people for speaking the truth, you are enabling people with mental health disorders to think that they are in the right and to push their agendas on you. And if you don't accept it, you are the evil person. You are the one in the wrong. You are the one that needs to be canceled. Personally, I love Nickmercs. His raw, outspoken, and often provocative commentary is refreshing this day and age. I know there's a lot of people that he rubs the wrong way, but at least he's speaking from the heart, and he doesn't really hold back. And that's rare these days, because everyone's been taught by corporate America that you're not allowed to say what you want to say because you'll be canceled if you dare step out of line. Just a little bit too Orwellian for my liking. The powers that be at Twitch determined his actions were bad enough to be banned after using the word tranny during a live stream. While this term is often recognized as a slur against transgender people, the context and intent behind Nickmercs' use of the word have been hotly debated. Now, checking on Twitch's guidelines that prohibit hate speech and discriminatory behavior, it quickly flagged Nickmercs' channel as temporarily unavailable. According to Twitch, the platform's rules explicitly state that it does not permit behavior motivated by hatred, prejudice, intolerance, including any conduct that promotes or encourages discrimination based on protected characteristics such as gender identity and sexual orientation. That's a big no-no place to go to if you're going to talk about anything. And I feel like that's pretty scary, that we've gotten to a point in time where we aren't even allowed to say, hey, that over there is not normal. And that's kind of scary if this is going to be allowed and accepted. What's going on with indoctrination and how people handle children? I gotta question Twitch's enforcement of these rules. Yes, it is technically against their terms of service, but it feels like they are selectively enforcing them. And the timing is quite curious, especially when you pair it with what's going on with Dr. Disrespect. And I can't help but look at this situation with Nickmercs and how he's related to Dr. Disrespect as a former friend of his, and hell, he even went on Twitter and put a video out there about how he wanted to distance himself from Dr. Disrespect.
I can't support it, I can't defend it, and look, the boys and I are torn up over it too, man, because we played a lot of games with the guy, and feels a little weird, but what can you do, you know? So I just wanted to update you guys on my thoughts and how I'm feeling. And I mean, look, I hope you guys have a good day, all right?
This ban feels more like a smokescreen to protect Twitch and how they've fumbled, how they've handled Dr. Disrespect all the way back in, 2017 with the situation that arose, and they didn't do anything about it. And then he got banned in 2020, a whole 3+ years later from it happening, and Twitch has remained silent. They haven't revealed any of the logs, the text, the chat, nothing that has absolved them from being in the wrong with this Dr. Disrespect situation. The heat is on Twitch right now. And I would venture to guess corporate is stressing out, and they're looking for anything to get the heat off of them, to take the pressure away and put it somewhere else so people focus on that situation and people move on with their lives and stop coming at Twitch saying, hey, how about showing us those chat logs from the whispers? How about we see the actual truth and reality of what you guys knew over at Twitch when you didn't do anything about Dr. Disrespect? And this came up the other day when there was rumors that Dr. Disrespect was being arrested and handcuffed and taken away from his house that have since been rumored to be untrue. So it's something that I don't really want to focus on reporting on, but it made me think about the situation with Dr. Disrespect a lot deeper. If Dr. Disrespect does get arrested, if he does have some major, huge federal charges brought up against him, if something comes up in the background that we aren't privy to, that the authorities see, and he gets taken away and locked up for that, Twitch is screwed, because that's when everyone's going to look at Twitch and be like, whoa, how bad was it? How come we didn't know about this? How come you let him continue on for 3 full years after what these authorities have found out about him were so bad that he got in this much trouble for it? And because of that, I can't help but look at Twitch and say, I'd be shaking in my shoes if I saw this stuff happening surrounding the situation and we're just remaining silent about it. We would need to take the pressure off us any way we can. And I look at this example with Nickmercs as someone that Twitch already doesn't like, and we already know that they're a cult behind the scenes that just look to get people in trouble that they have targeted, that they don't like, and they try to take the heat off themselves by putting it on someone they don't like. And right here, to me, is a prime example of that. There's been a lot of different leaks, from various supposed leaked emails to I heard from a reputable source, but there's been no actual proof or tangible evidence. This latest incident raises important questions about the role of platforms like Twitch and how they regulate speech and behavior, especially in the face of everything that's been transpiring with Dr. Disrespect right now, and how it seems like they're taking it out on Nickmercs. Community guidelines are important. I don't want to try to minimize those and make it sound like, oh, they're just using those as a way to silence him, because you do need to have some sort of guidelines. I understand it. But how far do you go with censorship and pushing the agenda? The enforcement of these rules has to be consistent and transparent. Otherwise, there's no reason to have them in the first place. This selective targeting of Nickmercs feels like a calculated move to manage public relations rather than a genuine effort to uphold community standards. What Nickmercs did was not a big deal. It really wasn't. And if people are starting to get their panties in a bunch for hearing someone say that word, they need to log off the internet and go touch some grass, because it's not doing anything to affect anybody. The fact that people are able to be canceled over saying something speaks volumes for where society is right now for everyone. But one thing's for sure, I'm not going to let Twitch off the hook so easily after how they mishandled this Dr. Disrespect situation so poorly. But that's the information I got right now as far as Nickmercs being banned from his Twitch channel, which to me, for this word, is just, it's just wild to me. I can't with this. This is not a good direction for the entire online community to be going. It's gone way too far in one direction, and that pendulum needs to start swinging back, because otherwise, it's a very scary future for all of us. I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com. If you enjoy what I'm doing here, hit that join button like so many people already have. I genuinely appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Yo, checking in. I'm seeing everything on Twitter, and I read through Doc's tweet, And in that very tweet, he basically confirms that, you know, he was texting an underage girl and it went weird sometimes, you know, and look, just to be blunt and straightforward, man, that's inexcusable. It's unacceptable, right?